Welcome to Reader's Workshop. So yesterday we were reading Ollie the Stomper, and we started off by thinking about the strategy of taking a sneak peek at the beginning of a book and checking that sneak peek. And I was teaching you about how another reading strategy is to look at the picture on each page, right? You want to be sure to take a sneak peek on every page, at least for a moment, to get an idea about what the words on the page are going to be. And right now, I want to go ahead and remind you of the other important strategies that we're going to always be thinking about and using here at the beginning of first grade. You also want to use the beginning sounds of a word. You always want to look at the beginning sound before you start to sound it out, and maybe make a connection to the picture too. Wish, chop, stick. Number 3, you want to think, does it make sense? Once you've figured out what you think a word is, does it make sense? Your reading has to always make sense. Number 4, this is a really important one. You want to look at all parts of the word. So what sometimes happens is students look at the picture, they look at the beginning sound, and they come up with a word that might work. And they think, hey, that makes sense. But they don't look at all the parts of the word. And they might be making a mistake about especially the ending of the word. So they might be getting the word wrong because they don't look at all the parts of the word. So what I mean is you really have to look. Here's this word, puddle. You have to look not just at the beginning, right? That's up here. You have to look at the middle and the end. You want to check the beginning, check the middle, check the end. You need 3 checks to be sure that all the parts of the word are correct. They're all what you think they are. And finally, once you figure out all this and you figured out the word, you want to be sure to reread. Before we had this symbol for rereading the book, but it also means to reread that line. Reread that line to make sure you got it. So let's go back to Ollie the Stomper, and we're not going to reread the pages we've read so far, but we are just going to turn through them and remind ourselves what's happening. You always want to remind yourself of what was happening before when you come back to your book. So I remember we met Ollie. He was this little kind of duck or goose, and he was playing in that pot. I remember that on the title page. And then I remember there were 2 other characters, Gossie and Gertie. And I'm going to stop and think. I think this story must be on a farm. You know, I think the setting is a farm because these are farm animals and there's some hay. Okay? And it did say they were goslings. Those are baby geese. Oh, I remember they had these really pretty bright colored boots, red and blue. Oh, now I'm starting to remember. That was kind of the problem, I think, in the story, was they had these pretty boots, and I think that Ollie wanted their boots. Remember that? And they were just kind of stomping off. Oh, and I remember this. The rain came, and they were kind of playing in the rain, and he still was kind of looking at them, wanting the boots. And here's where we stopped. So I think here I'm going to read Ollie stomps after them. That's right, he's still following them. And here I see Gossie and Gertie again. Oh, and they're jumping over some water. Okay, here we go. Gossie and Gertie jump. All right, they're jumping. Jump over water. Oh, I think that could be pond. Does that sound right to you? Pond? I see I see water. Maybe it's a pond. I hope some of you are thinking, no, Mrs. Kilmer, you have to look at all parts of the word. If I just look at the I might think it's a pond. That's pretty small for a pond. But if I check all parts, I know it's puddle, right? I have to look all the way to the end of the word, checking, check, beginning, middle, end. Check all the parts. Okay, now I have to reread. Gossie and Gertie jump over a puddle. Oh, and here he's just kind of chasing after them. And I think he's mad. His face looks a little mad. Ollie stomps after them. Gossie and Gertie march to the pond. Okay, so they keep marching on. I think it's why their little legs are kind of stiff, like boom, 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 marching. Oh my goodness. Now I see a pile of pumpkins, and look at his face. He's really getting mad. Look at his little eye. It looks really angry. And I see their little feet sticking out. I wonder if they're playing hide and seek. Let's try to read. Ollie stomps after them. Gossie and Gertie hide. Oh, they're hiding, right? Hide in the pumpkins. Now, could I continue? No, I have to remember to reread. If I had to stop to figure out a word, I got to reread. Gossie and Gertie hide in the pumpkins. Oh, wow, there he's standing on top of a wooden bucket and he's like shouting at them. Oh, and they're finally turning around and looking at him and noticing. Let's see. I want boots, Ollie shouts. Oh, he's shouting. Let me reread. I want boots, Ollie shouts. Oh, now they're going over to him and maybe they're talking to him. And there's like a tire swing. I wonder what's going to happen. Here we go. Gossie and Gertie stomp to Ollie. So they go over to him. Oh, that's interesting. It looks like Gossie is giving Ollie one boot and Gertie's giving him one of her blue boots. Let's read and see. Gossie gives Ollie a red boot. Gertie gives Ollie a blue boot. Okay. Oh, and now they're walking along kind of together. Oh, look, he's kind of jumping or hopping along. And look, there's a barn, like a barn with hay in it. Let's read. Ollie hops to the barn. Gossie and Gertie follow. Oh, I better reread. Hold on. Gossie and Gertie follow. Oh, right, they're following him. I understand. So again, I'm looking at the picture. I'm using beginning sounds. I'm thinking about what makes sense. I'm looking at all the parts of the word and I'm rereading when I have to figure out words. So I want you to remember to use all these reading strategies next time you read a book. Bye.